But moving on, I do want to get more about your UH career.
Cool.
And specifically, I mean, everyone knows what you've done there. We saw you play. I don't know, one day we got to look at the record book. I know you don't care about any of the individual accolades, but I'm sure you're in the top 5 probably for most statistics. But anyway, let's talk about what are some of the big things that you've learned playing at UH throughout your 4 years.
Well, I know one of the hugest things that you have to understand if you play at UH is the fan base is amazing. So if you're one of those that don't know how to play for the crowd, or, you know, you're shy and, you know, you're going to be overwhelmed with the amazing loud, you know, the volume and the spirit, the energy, you know, you got to sign stuff later, you know, make sure you say your thank yous for coming. The aunties is still, it's so cool that the aunties are still doing that with the lays, you know, that's one of the biggest ones that I tell everybody that is definitely genuine about UH is the fan system is without a doubt amazing. Like even till this day, like, I still have a few people who recognize me and, you know, never kids though. Oh my gosh, irrelevant. They were too young back then.
Getting
but
too old.
Yes, but like the old timers, it's great, you know. And because there's no professional teams out here, UH is pretty much the team to watch, you know. So, and then on top to be able to play for Dave, you know, because Dave retired not too long ago. But, you know, not too many of us players, you know, can truly say you're from Hawaii and you got to play with Dave, you know. Everything was iconic at the time when, you know, there's only certain schools that have the same coach forever and ever and ever. And UH was one of them, you know. And then when you step into the arena, you know, you realize that you're no longer the fan that's been watching, you know, because I was that kid that came to watch Kim Willoughby, you know, like Kanani Danielson back then. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then even going through the lockers, because I knew some of the uncles that, you know, worked the stand sheriff. So there was a one time where I got to go downstairs and I watched the Lauren Duggins pass by, and I was just like, I didn't know what to do, but I was like, should I get an autograph, you know? But then when it was my turn and being in that environment, to be able to say that now that's me on the court, that's me looking up, not down, you know, that even though I'm super tired after game 5, you know, that I still need to make sure I give my thank yous to whoever that's still outside, you know? So Hawaii is just different.
Yes.
You know, I could have went to anywhere in the nation, but I chose home, and I don't regret it one bit, because I have something that will always stay. You know, think people down here won't know what you did in the mainland.
Yes.
You know, they will get to see it nowadays, maybe through social media, you know, if they look on a website, but people actually see what you did home here because they can watch it live.
Yes. And that is a special place to play and be in, you know, in whatever capacity. That place, like you said, it's electrifying when, you know, all the fans are there. It's a packed crowd, and, you know, good games, close games, any games really, the fans always show up. Now, thinking back, you know, to this career, maybe we're dating you and ourselves a little bit more, but a long time ago during your 4-year career, what were some of the best memories, I guess, that you remember that stick with you to this day?
Well, one of my favorites was battling against Washington my freshman year. You know, it was just the funniest thing, because we weren't supposed to get to game 5. Everybody thought we were going to go down in 3, you know, but to battle and Amber Kaufman, you know, with her amazing aces that she had that time, you know, and for us to push through it. And, you know, it was pretty cool too that I had the game ending kill, you know, and my mom told me that my auntie from North Carolina was watching the game on the, was it online? Yeah, it was online. But then right when it got to the 5th set, it just shut off. So she was like panicking and texting my mom, what's going on? What happened? Is the game over? Did everybody leave? Not realizing that we won.
Yes.
You know, so that was one of my best memories at the time. And even to be able to play, because the libero at that time was Tama, who is now the assistant coach for USA Volleyball. They just won gold. You know, to be able to know that a lot of those players I played against in college too, some of them, it's pretty amazing that it's like, yes, at that stadium. Yes. we played against the greats that are now representing our nation.
Yes, it's crazy. And you had so many things in your career that not only players at UH, it's a rare, I guess, experience, but anyone in the nation. So you've got to, you got to go to the Final Four, right? And you've got to experience all of these other things in your career, I guess, all the successes. And, I would say that was one of the stronger teams that Hawaii has ever had, maybe, the year that you guys went to the Final Four. So
great team.
All of those things, I think it's things, no one can take that away from you. It's always going to stay with you forever. And, you'll always remember all of these great times. And if you look back to what were some of the obstacles, I guess, for you personally? Because all athletes, there are things that you have to fight through, hard times that helps you to grow. So what were some of the big obstacles maybe in your college career?
I'd say for sure it was multitasking. Okay. People don't understand, not people, student athletes do not understand that the workload from high school to college is way different because you're not just being a student athlete. You also need to learn how to manage your time outside of your studies, outside of your athletic side, and what is your free time and what are you doing with your free time. So like what I highly encourage everybody nowadays is to please understand that you don't have a choice to not show up to practice, to not show up to class when you get there. It is expected, especially if you're on scholarship, you are being watched like a hawk, and, it was really, really hard thinking that you're supposed to make all of these hours for school side that you have to be in study hall, right? Outside of that, Renee's having me make sure I come in earlier to prep.
Yes.
For practice, I got to tape ankles. Or before that, I have to go ahead and warm up, put the heat packs on. Yes. Even after practice, I need to come in and ice. I need to stretch. So, the fans just see our performance, but what goes in, day out as a student athlete in college is crazy overwhelming if you're not prepared to take it on.
Yes. And all that behind the scenes and, like you said, effort that goes in to be able to perform. You guys are really like putting in time like a professional athlete.
Yes.
It's just more jam-packed throughout the day, and you have classes on top of that. A professional athlete, and we'll talk about that in a second because you got to play professionally in Japan, right? It's like, that's just your job. So now take out school, take out all of that, focus on your job. And yes, it's still a long day, but you don't have all of these other things that you have to time manage or multitask, right?